Cody Gakpo, 8 goals in his last 11 starts for Liverpool.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's playing his way into the start, and obviously he started today, but if there was the biggest game of the season tomorrow, I think he'd be in it now, which is not something I've said since his time at the club. So playing particularly well, scoring plenty of goals. But you know what? The 3 players that have got those shirts at the moment, Diaz, Salah and Gakpo, probably in the form of their life. All 3 of them probably playing at this moment as good as they've.
He's 17 goals in 18 games in the Premier League this season. He's averaging a goal, as you can see, almost every 93 minutes. We'll come to some of those numbers in a moment. He said we're nowhere near making an announcement there. In an ideal world for all Liverpool fans, would you hope when we get to January, when the window's open, when all 3 of these Liverpool players could, if they wanted to, speak to other clubs, that would be the ideal scenario for Liverpool to release a statement and say, here he is, signed, sealed and delivered?
Yeah, that's ideal, isn't it? Absolutely.
Because otherwise it's going to go on, isn't it, through this month when the window's open.
Yeah, but no, I don't think anyone's expecting him to leave in this window.
No, but he could announce something, couldn't he, for the end of the season?
Yeah. Well, in January he could, yeah, but that's going to happen though. He's going to get to. Nothing's going to happen in the next 2 or 3 days, so that's going to happen. That bird's flow, and I think at some point it will just happen, and it will just go bang, and you know. But I don't think people will be getting regular updates, let's say, from the club. You know, these things tend to happen in private, and obviously with 3 big players, it's getting a lot of traction, a lot of news, a lot of columns in the newspapers and whatever. But I don't think there will be a drawn out period or a preparation period, let's say, from the club or from Mo Salah from that point of view. He'll keep getting asked, and he'll probably keep batting it off since his first one, when he first came out. But as I say, I mean, I've said on this show a few times, I'm still confident that Mo Salah will sign. I don't see why or where or anything else he should go. And if he was that against signing, he would never have came out in the first place and made a bit of a fuss about it. That sounded like a person that wants to get something done, but is a little bit agitated that it wasn't happening quick enough, let's say. So I'd be more confident with Mo Salah and with Virgil van Dijk for that matter. I'm a little bit not sure about Trent Alexander-Arnold. That's the one that I'm not that confident about. I just think that the stars align, the pieces fit in the jigsaw. Real Madrid desperate for a right back. You know, their current right back's aging. Their current right back has got a cruciate knee ligament injury. They're desperate for a right back. Trent Alexander-Arnold, nothing left on his contract. On a free at the end of the year. It's a new challenge. His good friend Jude Bellingham's out there. There's a lot of things that piece together that makes me think, you know what, that one could happen. I'd be more confident about Virgil and Mo Salah staying.
I mean, who on earth would get their head turned by the white shirt of Real Madrid when you're playing for Liverpool anyway? Is that the only downside for Liverpool fans at the moment? Because everything on the pitch is inch perfect. But these 3 major players off it, all out of contract at the end of the season, is the talk of every Liverpool supporter that you bump into at the moment.
Well, like I say, I think they're doing fantastic for the football club. They're staying very, very present. All of them, they're available every single week. We're seeing so many injuries throughout the Premier League, throughout the footballing world. These guys play at the highest level. They represent their country. I think they're absolutely fantastic what they're doing. They're staying so focused. They're staying so calm. They're playing at such a high level. Football's a business. They're making business decisions, and they're staying calm, and they're letting the people above them have the conversations. But who knows what those conversations are? I certainly don't, and all of us would be speculating. We're putting jigsaw pieces together. I just want to give great credit to 3 top players who are doing a fantastic job in a really difficult league. They're showing up every single week, making themselves available and putting themselves on the line and doing an incredible job.
That's a really good point, isn't it? Because, joking apart, you have been in this situation, and it is easy for your head to be somewhere else sometimes with uncertainty, short term certainly, not knowing where you're going to be next season in case of all 3 of them. But it hasn't for one iota affected any of them at any time. Quite the opposite.
Quite the opposite, yeah. They're all, in fact, if you could create a more perfect scenario, I don't think you could really. I mean, the way Mo Salah's value is going up week by week. I mean, I bet you Liverpool wish they had done it a year ago. It might have been a little bit cheaper. Now you can't be without him. You can't be without Virgil van Dijk. These are two, probably, you're looking at the best right-sided forward and the best centre-half in the world. You just don't find them anywhere else, and they're proving it every single week. And they're going further and further clear in the Premier League, and they're at the top of the Champions League table, and they're in the semi-finals of the Cup, and the other Cup's about to start. This is the best. They are in the best position possible. If you're looking at the business decision that Joe's talking about, they're absolutely flying from that point of view. So yeah, but fair play to them as well. As you say, you can get a little bit distracted. It's more worrying if you're not you don't feel like you're in a strong position, or if the club are not showing you love. If they're thinking of selling you or things like that, that can distract you, because you're thinking, right, they don't really love me. Where am I going to go next, etc. But at the moment, they'll be clambering to sign them. I mean, it's impossible that anything else could be the case.
But Mo, and the word extraordinary is something I've heard a lot in the last 6 months, and he truly deserves this, and probably in the last 8 years, but I'm involved in the last half year. So yeah, I don't think he keeps surprising us, because we know what a player he is, and we know he's able to do so. But apart from that, he works really hard for the team also when the other team has the ball. And yeah, we can only hope that he can keep bringing these performances in. But I would like to add that if he scores, there's also a lead up to him scoring. So there are also other players that bring him in these positions. But if you bring Mo in these positions,
of these interviews and running out of space for these awards, unbelievable again today. But should we start with the team? Was that a very good, very dominant?
The only thing in my mind, to be fair, I want Liverpool to win the league, and I just want to be part of that. That's the only thing I really focus. So we just need to, again, to stay focused and humble and just work hard and just go again.
When you walked into the room, I said, "Oh, Mo, you're getting better," and you said, "I try to." How much of what we see today comes from that? You're never satisfied. You're always hungry. You're always trying to get better.
Yeah, I'm just trying to enjoy the game. To be fair, I was like a little bit disappointed from a few chances I missed today. But in the end of the day, I came here for the result. I want the team to win. I want to do something in the game, and I'm glad I did. But I'm only was hungry for more. Hopefully, next one I will score more. But yeah, it's the most important thing, again, team won the game.
Do you know, actually, during the match, I was reminded that last time you came here in April, that wasn't a happy day at all. How much did the end of it wasn't, was it? How much did the end of last season fuel what we're seeing now?
It was a funny thing you said, because not a nice memory here last year, but I'm glad this one we had better one.
Ready for the contract question? I know you're not going to stand here and tell us, but are you hoping to be able to give some good news soon?
No, we are far away from that, but again, I don't want to put something in the media and people start saying stuff, but nothing really moves.